Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode number 2 of How to Start Your Tech Business in Jamaica. Last time we looked at in the startup principles, we looked at the business model, and we looked at pretty much modeling the entire business, putting that on canvas, and seeing how that will work in a real world situation. Today, we're going to be paying attention to just go back to the starting slide here. The startup budget. We know that the startup budget is pretty critical to the entire startup itself. We're going to be looking at some key activities. We're going to be looking at the business name selection, which we already did, and we're going to also be looking at some resource allocation. So, as usual, I'm going to just jump right into it because I want to make this presentation extremely quickly. All right. So, the business model. In order for us to be able to build out a budget, we'll have to first look at the business model. Now, from last session, we know that we're going to be doing virtual business cards. We're streamlining the entire business card process and making that and turning that into a virtual business card instead of you having the physical paper cards that you have to continuously be reprinting over and over. So what is the business model that we're going to be working with? We're going to be having to start off with 2 plans. And remember that this may actually change as we go along. So the business is not going to be something that is going to be fixed in stone. We're modeling that. However, it may actually change depending on how our customer acquisition actually goes. So this may change. So we're going to be having 2 plans. One, we're going to be having the standard plan, and the standard plan is you're going to be getting a PVC business card with NCF. We're going to be doing at least 5,000 shares or scans per month. You will have unlimited edits. You'll also have a QR code which you can share on your website, etc. Then we have also the business plan, which the business plan here is looking at. You're going to be getting a PVC business card. You can also choose if you want a key fob. So those are the key things that you put on your key, so you can just, for example, tap the share. We're going to be looking at giving you a smart button as well, and the smart button is something that you can put on the back of your phone. So we know that wherever it is that you go, your phone is there with you. So imagine a situation where you meet someone and you want to share your business card with them, your business contact with them. All you need to do is just to tap your phone on their phone, and then bam, magic, just like that, the contact is added. Don't need internet connection, nothing. It's just added. Once they have NCF enabled. We also look at metal and wood NCF business cards. So for persons who really want to sustain the environment itself, we can also choose to get a real premium look wooden card as well. And you will have 10,000 shares per or scans per month. So that is within the business plan package. And that package is for $7,000, and the standard plan is for $5,000 per year. So that is the business model. Now that we understand the business model itself, let's move directly now into the budget and some of moving into the budget and some of the things that we're actually taking into consideration here. The first thing we're looking at is around the budget. It's really the growth. All right, for the growth, average monthly price subscription, we're looking at $5,000 per month, and I'm just averaging it here at the minimum, because when I'm building out my budget, I want to ensure that I am being as much cautious as possible. So we're saying we're taking everything from the minimum business model, minimum subscription plan, and we're saying 5,000 per month. The monthly growth rate in number of new customers added per month, and we're seeing based on year 1, Q1, Q2, 13, 12, etc., and it goes down as we go into the different years. The monthly revenue churn rate, and the churn rate here is looking at how fast do we actually lose our customers on a month by month basis. So we're looking at 4%, 3, etc., and again it goes down over time. The number of customers added in the last month. Now we have 35 here, and this is the starting point for us So what we're looking at doing for the first year at least is to obtain a minimum of 35 customers per month. So that is our target budget based on the business plan, that business model that we're working with. We want to obtain at least 35 customers per month. And we just say that, okay, we're starting with a monthly recurring revenue of 3,000. It's just pretty much something to say that, okay, this is a starting point. So how do we grow and scale from there when we utilize this in the template that we're using? And I'm using pretty much a SaaS budget template here. And I can actually share this for persons who want to start a SaaS business, so you can model your own projections from this template as well. So we want to now look at some of the cost that's around the budget that we discussed earlier. So the first thing, cost, and this is where our greatest cost is going to be personal cost. So we're looking at the CEO founder, or the founder one, and this founder one is going to be taking from the business $1 million in salary per year. Pretty much going very slim and just putting everything back in business. This is the first year. We're going to be onboarding a customer success, and this customer success is going to be coming in at month 3. The next person that we're going to be adding is an engineer, and this engineer is going to be coming in at month 7. And we'll see how this actually affects the cost structure when we break it down a little further. For marketing, for AdWords and social media, we're going to be doing 5% each. So what that means is that 5% of the revenue that comes into the business is going to be going back out into AdWords and marketing. And we can increase this, and the assumption is that if we increase this, then we'll be getting in more customers as we go along as well. The next thing, the cost of goods sold. So for the cost of goods sold, we're looking at the payment processing fee, because we know that it's going to be 100% online, so there's going to be a 3% for that. And hosting and bandwidth, we're looking at, for the first year, at least a minimum of 4,000 per month to actually host the application. This may actually increase, however, and based on my calculation, with the current load, we're actually looking at about $4,000 per month. And when we get further down, then we're going to be looking at the load testing and how we actually do load testing, and what the assumption is around the amount of bandwidth that we need to allocate to ensure that as soon as anyone goes on a site, it's the site is loading adequately for each person, and how we actually scale. And we'll be looking at that in further reviews or sessions. Now, the miscellaneous, we're talking about customer technical contractors for persons or partners who are going to be doing the PVC cards, who are going to be printing these cards. We're looking at $90,000 per month to pay for these cards to be printed. Marketing contractors, so if we're going to be doing or search engine optimization, etc., we're looking at $10,000 per month to ensure this is adequately done. And we have travel and a few other utilities in there as well that will make up the total cost budget. Now we want to move on to the annual revenue per year, and for the first year we're looking at about 4 million, a little over 4.5 million or 4.7 million per year one, based on our projection. However, that's going to be going up in year 2, because we're only going to be offering yearly subscription. So the reason why the difference between year 1 and year 2, there's that larger gap, is because we're assuming that in year 2, based on our recurring customers, we're going to be having at least 90+% of those customers who subscribed each month in year 1. They will also be subscribing in year 2, in addition to getting on new customers. So we're looking at our revenue drastically increasing in year 2. And we looked at the breakdown here. For the cost of goods sold, it's 4% of our total revenue. Sales and marketing is 31%. Research and development is 49.6%. and we have the general administrative cost is 33.9%. So this is how the revenue, the cost itself is broken down as part of our revenue, and you will see that changing over here in year two as well. The cash needed to cover the cost is $949,000. So what this means is that I have to have now at least $1 million seeded into the company at a startup phase now, in order for this projection that I now have to be true. So at minimum, I will need $1 million in seed money seeded into the business. All right. Now let's look at some of the the things or the timelines that we have that we're looking at. The website, go live. We want to go live with the website by April 20, 2022. We want to launch the website by then. For March 30, which is the end of this month, we want to have the business name registered, all the compliance, etc. That should be taken care of by the end of this month. For May 2022, we want to onboard our first 10 customers, and these 10 customers are going to be part of our test pool, to pretty much analyze, to give us some feedback. So it's this here is more of a soft launch, and we want to do the full website launch by June 10, 2022. So the full launch is going to be after we have worked out any bugs that may come up from our first set of users utilizing the application. Then we'll go ahead and we'll do a full launch from there. All right. Next, let's look at the business card or the company name that we selected. We actually selected iRecard as our, as the name that we're going to be giving the business. So, hooray to the, wanted to ensure that it has this Jamaican feel, etc. So iRecard. So the business, domain name is going to be irecard.com. So, we'll pretty much be putting this out there soon. For our next session, we're going to be, discussing the business model breakdown. We're going to be looking at the website landing page. So now that we have selected the business name, we're going to be creating a landing page coming soon, so we can start to put that out there as well. So persons can look at that. We're going to be looking at the business name registration as well, and we're also going to be looking at our competitors. What are our competitors in the space, if we have any competitors in the space, etc. So we're looking at these things that we're going to be looking at these are going to be our talking points for next session. So that's it for today's session. I hope that you guys learn something. As I said, we actually have the SAS model that we worked out in Excel. So if you request it, this is something that can be shared as well with you. Let me know, and please remember to like, comment, and share as we go on this journey together to build out this business, and so we can pretty much have something out there for others who want to consume this information. They can have a starting point. So again, thanks for tuning in, everyone, and I really look forward to our next session. All right, bye.